Hey, what's up guys, Benzo Figures here, and today we are taking a quick look at a custom Mecha Hulk figure. Let's begin. So this is probably the biggest custom I've ever worked on, and yet this is also probably the easiest one I've done so far. Like, even though it looks complex, the sculpt of the original figure really carries this look pretty far. But before that, I want to give James Roseborough on Instagram a shout out for this idea. Like, there's been a bunch of people that have used this base and went about it in a different direction, but like, to be honest, he was the very first person I saw using this, so I'm going to give him the credit. So when I first started collecting, I remember seeing this post on Instagram where someone had the original Toy Biz Mecha Hulk, and I thought it was such a cool design ever. I remember talking to my buddy saying stuff like, Hasbro doesn't make figures like this anymore, and I doubt we'll ever get something as wicked as that Toy Biz Mecha Hulk. Like, I guess that Cyborg Spider-Woman is pretty metal, but it doesn't quite hit the same. So this figure stands about roughly around 9.5 inches, just slightly under 9.5 inches. So here's the figure front facing. Here's the figure side profile. And here's the back, and yeah, we kept the cyborg part in. And here's the figure on the other side. And here's the figure back to the front. So making this figure, I only used 2 figures to make this Mecha Hulk. The head is from a Marvel Select, and the buck is from a McFarlane. My take on this Mecha Hulk 2.0 is that I used the alternate head sculpt that came with the Marvel Select Immortal Hulk. That figure came with this really cool cyborg head, and let me shine some light for you to see this. So I painted his eyes red to give him an even more robotic look. Let's pop this head back on here. Oops. The rest of the figure is from Overkill from McFarlane. So I used a mix of some green and goblin green, I forgot, and I used this dark green to give it a black wash to bring out the muscles more. I sculpted some donuts on him. I don't know why. I thought it'd be cool, but yeah. I was going to add some shoulder pads on this side, but ultimately decided against it. I did, however, remove his forearm guard on this side. In the end, I wanted to keep this side more fleshy and like less robotic, which is why I painted his flesh tones too. And here on the other side, I want to give him tons of robotic parts and kept the arm guards and shoulder guards to really give it that duality look of a mecha and Hulk look. I actually tried really hard to remove these shin guards, but for me, these just wouldn't come off, so they're here to stay. But yeah, I really tried adding on as much flesh tones as I can, and I added it here as well. But for the most part, this side right here is just mostly metal. I should have painted underneath this too, but I had a hard time trying to remove that piece, so I just kind of kept it in there. But yeah, I kept the design as unbalanced too, to try to capture a very monstrous look to it. So let's jump into the articulation. He has like full arm rotation, can lift his arm this far up. He can bend his arm, not that much. Can't make it 90 degrees because of the bicep sculpt, but that's okay. He does have a wrist hinge here. He also has a ball joint here on the waist. No joint on his chest though, so no ab crunch or anything like that. He can kick about this far forward and this far back. He can also bend his knees about this far back. Not too much range, but just enough range for this kind of figure. So let's compare him to some other figure scales. Here's Hulk next to the original Marvel Selects Immortal Hulk, and I'm actually kind of surprised that he's slightly taller than it. Here he is with a new Marvel Legends Grey Hulk from the Banner 2-pack. And next up we have him with an older Hulk figure. Here we have him with a Kree Sentry Build-A-Figure. Up next we have him with a Wolvie figure. Next we have him with a Marvel Legends Deadpool. And because I love Capcom so much, we're gonna compare him to some Capcom figures. Here we have him with the Jada Toys Chun-Li. And next we have him with the Jada Toys Ryu. So overall, I really like how this came out at the end. It was pretty easy to make, all things considering. And all it took was like an Immortal Hulk alternate head and an Overt Kill base. And since Overt Kill is mostly metallic and robotic, I didn't really have to worry too much about paint rub since the robotic look is what I was going for with anyway. A couple things I probably would have changed is to add some wires coming out of his robotic arm or some bean looking tubes or something like that, and really try to emphasize the mecha part a lot. But yeah, other than that, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what kind of Hulk design you guys like the most. So